And let me tell you something, the word gospel. How about if we just look at gospel? The gospel, you know what the gospel is? It's a word the doctors use. Wait, what? The gospel is medical term? Yeah. And guess what? It's way older than the Christian usage. The thing that you call the Christian usage, it's way older. And it's been used over time. What does it mean? It means the power of bringing health that the concoction has. So you have compound drugs and they're gospel. They're evangelion or they're epangelion. They use both. It's either evangelion or epangelion. And what is that? That is the power of a drug. It is its efficacy in the treatment of disease. The gospel is the efficacy of the Christ.
LSJ gives the primary definition of evangelion as reward of good tidings given to the messenger. In its secondary sense, it refers to good tidings or good news, and this applies in the Christian sense to the gospel. Middle Adele also distinguishes between the Greek sense of a reward of good tidings and in the Christian sense of the gospel.
We're looking for the gospel, the evangelia. And some of you say, well, look at that. It looks just like evangelia, which is the gospel. Yes, that's our context, right? We already got off the ship. We're standing here with Galen. Every drug combo has a gospel. Yeah. Everyone has something that it does, things that it cures. It's the gospel of salvation. And are these words occurring in the pre-Christian? You mean they're talking about gospels and Christ before Christianity?
If you look at Galen's use of the term epangelia, you can see that this is the promised or advertised therapeutic property of a medicine. This is the efficacy of the drug. It has absolutely no connection to the Christian usage of the term evangelion, which means good news. Evangelion is neuter, epangelia is feminine. These are very different words that come from the same root.
There are many who trust in the efficacy of these drugs, right? These drugs that he's talking about in this text. This is a physician. And I just wanted you to see the bottom line, that middle word, epangeliais, right? That is the word gospel. That is the word gospel. Ep and eo, angelia, variants, right? They're used interchangeably. And you'll see that. And this here, what is he talking about? He's talking about what is the gospel of those drugs. These people have faith in the gospel of those drugs. They're mixtures of plants and whatnot. Do you understand? The gospel is your salvation. You're bringing to health, right? Okay, look, but I promised you dying and stuff. I promised you dying. Here's another. This is Alexander Traley's doctor. Give it to me. Give it to me, Chewy. Are you ready? Oh, God. What are they working with? What kind of drugs are they working with? Now, people, I say this all the time and nobody ever believes me. So here it is. Let everybody feast their eyes on the antidote that is the theriac, the theriacal antidote. Why doesn't it just say the antidote? Because this isn't just any antidote, right? You see that last word in Greek, antidoton. This isn't just any antidote. It is one that is used as a theriac. That is, it is used in combination with a death inducer. Do you understand? This is the physical rite of the mysteries that you think you're celebrating on Sunday that you are absolutely not.
Alexander Trallianos uses the feminine noun epangelie in the plural to rail against the practice of over-prescribing potentially harmful antidotes. He bemoans the fact that many of his colleagues naively trust in the promised efficacies epangelia of these treatments, othen πολλοί πιστέντες τες επαγγελίες αυτών, yet failing to discern the matter carefully, ή τα μη ακριβώς διακρίναντες, administered them and were responsible for causing great harm and dangers. Δωδεκότες έτι μεγίστης βλάβης και κινδύνων εγένοντο. One example he gives is the overprescription of the theriac antidote, which he deems to be a harmful remedy. Instead, he recommends avoiding antidotes altogether.
Here's your gospel, people. What is this saying? Greek? Soterion de pragmaton euangelon. Oh, did you hear me use my digamma? Yeah. Euangelon. Oh, sounds like a W. Love it. This is the good news of those salvation things that we possess. This is the gospel. You mean the gospel was originally a gospel of drugs?
If you actually look up the reference to Agamemnon, it's true that soteria here is being used for salvation, but evangelos means the person who is bringing the good news. This is not to evangelion. To evangelion would be the good news itself. There's no connection here to the Christian use of the term gospel. That is distinct.
What is salvation? What is salvation? Salvation is the state